Hello everyone. Today we quickly review the results of UFC 259's title fight events and compare it to the predictions we made regarding who would come out victorious. Without wasting any time, let's review the men's bantamweight title fight between Aljamain Sterling and Peter Yan, where we predicted a decision victory for Aljamain Sterling. Firstly, what a fight. I'm not even sure why, but I was nervous that whole fight. It was a battle between two technically talented fighters with a lot of back and forth action. It was so unfortunate for the fight to end the way it did, with the first champion to ever win via disqualification. Looking at the fight results, we see Peter Yan landed 14 significant strikes in round 1 versus 27 landed by Sterling. In round 2, 10 significant strikes landed by Yan versus 17 for Sterling. Round 3, 30 for Yan versus 29 for Sterling. And round 4, 32 landed by Yan versus 24 for Sterling. One thing to note is in round 1, Peter Yan did land a knockdown. Furthermore, if you look at the grappling exhibited by both fighters, Yan did a very good job. I did not expect him to grapple the way he did. He fended off pretty much all of Sterling's takedowns, and he had some of his own. He landed also a lot of them too. I think that Yan, it would have been interesting to see Yan use the advantages he was able to get from his takedowns, because I think he is a really good grappler and might be able to stand toe-to-toe with Sterling, but it doesn't matter. Like, he was playing it safe, and that's understandable. You don't want to take unnecessary risks against someone like Aljamain Sterling. But anyways, Peter Yan was winning up until the disqualification. In terms of striking, even in terms of grappling, I don't see any way Sterling would have won. Sterling also seemed a bit more fatigued, but this is all marginal. They both were neck and neck, in my opinion, with regards to the amount of damage inflicted on each other and the amount they were able to go. I think Peter Yan is just much better at covering his exhaustion. These guys are nonetheless going to run it back for sure. I was mind-boggled at the people online accusing Sterling for faking an injury or taking the easy way out. There's a reason why it's illegal to strike an opponent while grounded. When you knee a grounded opponent, you can quickly generate a lot of power, delivering a dangerous blow straight to a fighter's head. The reason why things like flying knees or regular knees are acceptable is because the amount of distance covered dissipates the excessive force. It's difficult for a sport to sanction a technique which would eventually guarantee a traumatic injury, and I believe it's because of these kind of rules the UFC has gone without fighters succumbing to severe injuries or deaths. That is more common in other sports like boxing. But I digress. It was a great fight up until that intentional foul, and although Sterling looked relatively more fatigued, the fight could have gone in his favor. We will just have to wait and see their next matchup. Next, we move to the women's featherweight title defense. There's not much to say other than that we expected this result from the start, as we predicted. Amanda Nunes was so dominant. The physical advantages Megan Anderson possessed did not matter whatsoever, as Amanda Nunes intelligently chopped the legs and worked her strikes, compromising Anderson's movement and created an opening for an armbar finish. I don't think there's anyone who could really challenge her in this division, and the only interesting fight to see with Amanda Nunes in the future is one with Valentina, where both previous fights were very, very close. Finally, for the fight everyone was looking forward to, we go to Adesanya versus Blachowicz. We predicted a victory for Yan, and as expected, the size advantage played a huge role in this victory. One cannot compare the move from, say, featherweight to lightweight, where the weight discrepancy is 10 pounds, to a move from middleweight to light heavyweight, where that weight jump is 20 pounds. Perhaps, if Adesanya spent more time increasing his size while maintaining his speed, he would have proven to be a deadlier opponent for Yan. Yes, Yan did appear to be more physically exhausted from a cardio perspective, but I don't think it's fair to use that as a point towards winner decision making. This is especially since in the last 2 rounds, he was able to score takedowns and drained Adesanya's energy as well. I couldn't understand how Yan turned out to be a plus 200 underdog, as there was not too much evidence for Adesanya being able to counter Yan's wrestling prior to the event. I also was intrigued by the commentary on the fight, as many thought Adesanya was winning throughout the first few rounds and were very critical of the 10-8 scoring in favor of Jan Blachowicz. From what I saw and what the striking stats reflect, Jan won all 5 rounds. In round 1, he landed 18 significant strikes versus 13 for Adesanya. In round 2, he landed 23 significant strikes versus 21 for Adesanya. Round 3, 24 for Jan, 21 for Adesanya. Round 4, 14 for Jan, 11 for Adesanya. Round 5, 28 for Jan, 12 for Adesanya. Furthermore, if you look at the significant percentage accuracy, he was very, very accurate. I thought Adesanya would have been much more accurate than him, but they were pretty much similar with regards to their accuracy rates. So, to me, the stats point towards an undisputable victory for Jan. And even when I was seeing the fight, I just felt that Jan was winning every single round. But, don't get me wrong. I think Adesanya's a great fighter. I love the guy. He is, and I think he's one of the best middleweight champions of all time. I just think that we got to understand the significance of weight classes and why results can be so different when you move between them. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this. Please comment what your thoughts are about the event and whether you agree or disagree with my analysis. Thanks for watching.